Hey guys, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a little bit of a Q&A video because I wanted to answer some of the questions that I get a lot. Whenever I do videos about how I work at Barnes & Noble, I get a lot of questions about what it's like to be hired there, pros and cons, all of that. So I wanted to do a video just addressing it all and help you guys out a little bit. So I've compiled a list here in my messy handwriting of some questions to answer. So we're gonna get right into it. So the first question is, was it hard to get hired there? Yes. I will be straight up with you guys. Yes. I applied 3 times over the course of a year or two to get hired there because I kept getting rejected. The 3rd time I finally got the job, and I think that's because the store changed managers. So the first 2 times that I applied, they had a different manager, and I've heard stories that that manager was not a good manager. And then my current manager that is there now was the manager whenever I applied the 3rd time, and I think she decided to pick me then. So that helped me out significantly. I don't think I would have gotten the job if the store still had the same manager that was previous to the one that I have now. The one that I have now is great. I love her. Pretty good manager. And the next question is it a good work environment? I would say yes, but it depends on the people, because you never know. With retail, really, the people make a huge difference. So for me, it's a good work environment because my manager is great, everyone around me is great, my coworkers, everyone I've made friends with now, and I feel very welcomed and a part of the team. And then also just the actual job aspect of it, it's a quiet bookstore. I'll get into that, but screaming kids, oh my god. But for the most part, it's a quiet bookstore. It's very relaxed, and you get quiet moments to just breathe. But it is still retail, and I will get into that as well when I get into the pros and cons. But yeah, it's definitely a good work environment depending on the people. Okay, so the age to be hired, I think, is 16, but I'm gonna double check that. Pretty sure, yes. Okay, so the hiring age is 16. So you guys, if you're 16, go apply. Do you do a little of everything or just one thing? I do a little of everything. My job title is a bookseller. That includes just everything on the sales floor. So my first few weeks learning, when I got the job, was learning cash wrap is what we call it. The registers where you go and pay. We call that cash wrap. And so that was learning how to do returns, checking people out. Also, if you reserve a book, you go and pick that up at the registers, as well as keeping things clean, organized. And then a lot of times when you're at cash wrap, if there's nothing to do, if there's no customers, then you should be doing what we call recovery to the front of the store. As long as you can see the registers, you always should be an eye of them so that you can go up there if there is a customer. But if there are no customers around, then you should be doing recovery around close by. So that includes the queue line thingy with all the bookmarks and the gift wrap stuff, and then also the book annex, which is all of our cheap books. You should be straightening that up and cleaning those. A lot of times you do get to get a book annex cart and get to shelve stuff while you're up there if it's a really slow day. So you just put things away and just always keep an eye on the register. If I'm not at the register and I am on the sales floor, which is what we call it, then I'm at customer service, helping people, looking books up for them, finding them, doing what we call BOPIS and ROPIS, which is 2 different things. So we have BOPIS, which is when somebody buys a book and they have to come pick it up in the store. And ROPIS is whenever somebody reserves a book, and that means that they haven't paid for it yet, but we're holding it for them. So you go and grab those and print out the papers and put that all together and put them in their spots. There's also shelving things, shelving toys and games, and shelving manga, and the young adult section are my favorite. I try to stick to that the most that I can. And then also recovery as well on the sales floor, so you should be walking around looking at everything and making sure that things are put back where they should be. If you find something that is in the wrong place, put it back where it goes. And cleaning up trash that people leave. A lot of people leave their Starbucks cups everywhere. Then also you should be talking to customers, so if you see somebody looking at a book, just tell them, you know, that it's a really good book and you should tell them about it and start talking to them. And then also tell them about the membership, because you got to get the membership sales up. So yeah, that is, I mean, you do everything. That's a kind of description of what I do at work. So somebody commented, how does it feel to live my dream? It's pretty great, but it has its pros and cons, which I'll get into. Like I said, I'm saving that for last. Yeah, it's great. It has its good days and bad days, though, I will say. Some days I'm like, I don't want to be here, and other days I'm enjoying my job, so it just depends. I enjoy it much more than the job that I had working in fast food. So is it a good job for college? I'm not 100% sure because I'm not in college doing this job, but I know that there are 2 of my coworkers who are in college and they're just seasonal employees, so I'm not sure. I would say yeah, because I know that there are a lot of like college people, but I know it's also definitely difficult and you have to work there for a really long time, because like I know that my doesn't really like to hire people that are only going to be there for like a few months. Like if you just want it as a summer job or something, like they're not gonna hire you, because like my manager even told me that. So I think it just depends on the manager, but there's a lot to learn. And if you're only doing a summer job, you know, like 2 or 3 months working there and then you leave, like that's not enough time to learn anything. It's a lot to learn. It took me 6 months to be at where I'm at now, and I still have stuff that I haven't learned, and I'm still learning. Like every day I'm learning something new. So yeah, it's very, like, there's a lot to know, and it's definitely hard to have as just like 3-month job, you know. So yeah, that's my input on it. Tips to getting the job: be a reader, enjoy books. If you don't enjoy books, don't get this job. Like, it's, you literally, in the interview, they ask you what book you're reading, what are your favorite genres. Like, they literally ask you about books and ask you to explain like the plot of books and like why you like your favorite genre and why you like the bookstore. Like, they ask you so that they know that you're a reader and that you love these things. My manager knows that I am a huge reader. She's even said in my review that I'm an avid reader, and that's why she enjoys me, and she even comes to me for, like, she knows that I love young adult books, and so she's always putting me in that kind of section, and she's always asking me questions. If she has, you know, questions, she's like, you're young, you know this, like, you like these kind of books, tell me like about this because I can't find it, or something like that. Please be a reader, please enjoy books, because like I said, if you don't enjoy books, you're not going to get the job, and you're not going to enjoy the job either. It's a lot of, it's talking about books all day with people, and also that's kind of the best part of the job, is getting to talk about books with other people and customers. So much fun. I love being able to talk to customers about my favorite books. It really just like brightens my day. Be a reader. That's my biggest tip. And then also just, you know, be, you know, bright and yourself. Be yourself. Definitely be yourself. And if you know, if you have like a book talk or, you know, social media, I would tell them about it, because like I told my manager that I had a book talk and everything, so she was like, that's great, because that means that I'm really into it. And I also, like I said, she comes to me because she's like, you're young, you would know this. And also with our social media manager, she works in the cafe, but she comes to me a lot as well because she knows that I do book talk and everything, and so she's like asking me for like advice and everything and like ideas. So yeah, I would mention it if you know, have a book account that you're like, that you are able to like share without being embarrassed, because I know that some people don't like to share it, and that's fine. But I would suggest sharing it. And then also just, you know, have a good resume, dress nice, always look your best, especially for the interviews and everything, and just be yourself. That's the biggest thing. I mean, it is still a retail job, so it is going to be a lot of the same tips. If you watch videos of tips on how to get jobs, it's going to be a lot of the same tips and everything of like be yourself and like how to do interview questions and stuff like that. It's going to be the same with that, but just adding reading into that mix. So, and the last one here is the pros and cons. So I'm going to start with the cons and then we'll go into the pros. So the cons is it's still a retail job. You're going to have like crabby customers, you're going to have rude people, you're going to get Karens, you're going to have messy people, loud people, screaming, crying, bratty kids. Oh god. At 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that, you're going to have screaming bratty kids. You're going to have messes, you're going to have we have a few regulars that are kind of rude. You know, it's retail, so keep that in mind. Like, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows and perfect bookstore, like, you know, romanticizing your life. It's still a retail job, and you're going to have bad days, and you're going to have days where you want to cry, you're going to have days that you just want to go home, so keep that in mind. My other cons would just be it's not a high-paying job, so I rely off of this job right now, and it's not high-paying at all. Like, I don't make that much. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I really wish that I made more, but I don't. But I love this job so much that it's kind of the con that you take with it. And then also, I get really crappy hours. The hours are kind of absolute crap, and I'm part-time right now, so, but my availability is completely open. And I only get 2 or 3 days a week, and I only get like 4.5 hour shifts. So I'm not getting a lot of hours, and I don't get paid that much. So take that, and you know, I'm probably gonna have to get a second job if I take that and really think about it. I think that's pretty much it for the cons. So I'll go into the pros, which is it's a bookstore job. You get to work with books all day. You get to talk to people about books. You get to have conversations about books. And also we get a lot of free stuff. You have the discount, which is amazing. So it's 50% off all books, 50% off the cafe, 30% off toys and games, 20% off music, and then I think it's like 40% off of paper source. The discounts are amazing. Also, you can use the discount at any store, so that's great. I've gone to a few different stores and bought books with my employee discount, and the employees are always so nice. They're like, oh, like, where do you work? Like, what store do you work at? And so it's kind of cool. So if you're working 4 hours or more, you get a paid 15-minute break. 5 hours or more, you get a 30-minute lunch break. You do have to clock out for that one, but yeah, that's nice. There's also really nice break rooms. And then in the break rooms, a lot of times, I think it's different for every store, but in mine, sometimes there'll be like little candies, like a bowl of candies on the table. And then also we get a lot of ARC books that you can take home for free. So I get a lot of books that aren't even out yet, like the new Holly Jackson book, The Reappearance of Rachel Weisz. I got that book before anybody else did, which was awesome. So yeah, it's pretty great. You get a lot of perks, but you also have your cons. And that is pretty much it. That is all of my information that I have about working at Barnes & Noble. It's a great job. I love it. I've almost been there a year, and it's been great. It's still retail. I have my good days and my bad days. Not a lot of pay, not a lot of hours. So I hope this helped you guys decide if you want to apply for the job, or if you maybe give you some hope if you've applied for it and haven't gotten it yet. Just keep applying. That's what I tell everybody, to just keep applying, because I almost lost hope and I tried one more time and I got the job. So just keep applying, and also even apply to the cafe, because you can always, you know, move cross-train, which is something, so do that as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Comment down below if you have any more questions. I would love to answer them for you, and make sure to subscribe for more bookish videos. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!